winds blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to begin. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. There'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend, Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. We are live. Looks like we're live. How about that? Catch me outside. Oh, I got hands full this morning. It was Hunter's Day to do the show, and little Louie put his paws up on me. So we have both dogs wanting some spotlight today, so we'll have a little bit of extra puppy time. There's nothing more satisfying for me in the mornings, so we have a routine down. I had a good buddy. His name was he's still a buddy of mine, Dom Moirot, told me that we are like dogs. We're creatures of habit. Like, we like routine, like 919, right? But the dogs get up, I let them out, they get all excited, I give them a little treat in the morning, they get their water, and then they play, and they go to town, and they tug on toys, and they're running around crazy, and then right before my show, they're like kids. The reason you have recess is to make your kids sleep, and they are so tired. But this little guy, as you know, months ago, we had to take him to Blue Pearl. He was had pneumonia. So he's doing it's so good to see him happy again and breathing pretty darn good. So good for Hunter, right? So good morning. We got a lot of weather to talk about. A lot of weather. We got the July 4th weekend holiday next week. Hot, smoky. We're going to talk about all that. Tropics are a little quiet, so we're going to get into that. So yeah, we have a good little weather show ahead of us. This is our Daily Brew. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Just did a little TikTok video. We got Shelly over there helping out on the backside. Our Daily Brew is kind of a chill session where everybody says, hey, hey, hey. Brought to you by our great friends at ABC. Got some exciting stuff to share from our buddies from TBBC here with their new Taste of Freedom I'm picking up here. We'll be showing that off. It's available at ABC. Great 4th of July IPA if you're into that. We also got our big date set forth for our Jack Daniels barrel selection with ABC. So I'm excited about that. So let's talk about the Tropics real quick. We'll just leave this up here while we say hi. That's what you got. That's all that's out there, little guy. It's like little Hunter next to his brother Louie. You got a little yellow box and another little yellow box, and they're both going north. So we'll talk about that. Brian wants to know, what's Cindy splitting in two? I don't know. I think there's so much wind shear coming down that it's just kind of messing things up for Cindy. Cindy might have split some of her DNA is going to mixed up with an old frontal line. So the little circle on the left is old Cindy. The little circle on the right is a new area that kind of was showing up. We showed it yesterday, right? If you remember right, we were watching that wave coming down into Lesser Antilles first part of next week. Well, there was also another little spot popping up that now is highlighted. So we talked about it yesterday. Nothing to worry about. It's not really expected to do much, but we'll talk about it. We'll show you. Let's say hi to, hey, what's up, Mr. Sam? How's it going, man? Now we got the big dog. Then we'll go ahead and get into weather. This little guy was jealous this morning. I can't believe dogs get jealous. As soon as I picked Hunter up, man, he came over and put his paws on me. He's like, Daddy, I'm the original. What's up, Miss Ashley Nagel? How you doing? What's up, Nancy? Hot, steamy day, yep. What's up, Mr. Harold? How's it going out west, man? What's up, Mr. Bill? Cubs. Somebody just posted Cubs might be dealing with some smoke tonight. Be curious if it affects the game up there at Wrigley Field. Hey, Katie Haley. Katie Haley is a fan of ours. She was wearing our MWP Summer Crew design at SeaWorld. So thank you for tagging our page. What's up, Miss Lori Rye from Bermuda? What's up, Chris Hargis? My buddy up here from Tarpon Springs. Tom, Sal's looking pretty thick. We're going to talk about that. Michael says Tampa's 97. I saw heat index today. We could be in the triple digits here in the Florida West Coast. That is unbelievable. Hey, Dan. Good morning from Bradenton. That is my home turf. Good morning, Miss Deb Schwartz. Smoke. I don't think smoke's going to be around for the weekend, Tyler. Nope. I got some forecast maps. It's going to be gone. Harold, hope you're feeling better, buddy. Feels like 103. That's not good. What do you think, buddy? Oh, you ever squeeze your dog and it's like he lets out like a he likes that. He's like, oh. And one thing about Frenchies, when their ears are back, it means they're happy. That they don't really have a tail. We had a cat. Mom and Dad had a cat. We named it Clem. Didn't have a tail. It was a Manx. It was the sweetest cat ever. So it must be me, an animal with no tails. Now we have a dog with no tail. All right, go see your brother. Oh, I love you guys. All right. So that's Tropics. Hey, thank you, Mr. Richard Reamer, for that. Now I got hair all over me. That's our new design, by the way. I just ordered another one today because they offer a long version. And as I got older, I lost my six-pack, and I'm, working on a keg I got to work on. Oh, Brian, appreciate that, buddy. We're just keep it real, man. We have a lot of fun, a lot of fans. We got a lot of great companies support what we do. That really means a lot. I just shared that article with Florida Trends. So, John says your Frenchie sheds. Yeah, we're pretty lucky with ours. It doesn't shed too bad. What's up, Mr. Brent Horn? How you doing? Cool. Cozumel, Mr. Dan. We've been there before. I didn't whip out the new cup yet, so we're still drinking Princess. Did I tell you the story yesterday where Sarah's like, Dad, that's mine. All right, let's get into that. All right, so first, while I got everybody here real quick, don't forget our MWP cruise is coming up. That's our third annual cruise. If you're a big Mike's Weather Page fan and you like a bunch of weather groupies, you like to party, you like to cruise, then this is for you. We have a great time. You can party it up with us and have a few beers. We can hang out at the bars together, but we have a lot of perks and fun stuff and seminars and stuff like that. So read all about it. We'd love to have you. We're keeping it at 50 cabins, I believe. I don't really have a link on my site yet, so we're kind of keeping it open more to the diehards right now. So if you're a diehard, that's in March. Check it out. We'd love to see you for our 3rd annual cruise. All right, so let me pop up something real quick. This is rip currents. Okay, so I don't know if you've been following the news, but the upper Gulf Coast, Florida especially, Panhandle, man, we've had a lot of folks dying because of rip currents, and it's terrible. The water currents. So I mentioned it yesterday. I'm friends with Panama City government. They fly those flags. When there's double red flags, stay out of the water. Even single red flags, stay out of the water, man. And that, it's just terrible news and tragedy that you keep hearing about. It's rip currents are real. So there's still a rip current in effect for today, Wednesday, Walton County, Bay County, Gulf County beaches. Okay, I know it's your family vacation. You might feel like you're Superman or Superwoman, but man, listen, stay out of the water. Just go to the hotel pool. But that's happening right now. I just wanted to bring that out. Let's talk about the fires real quick, and then we'll get into the tropics, which aren't really busy. But this is a big story going on right now. This is interesting to me. This Canadian fires. We showed them yesterday on Zoom Earth here, and you can see it. This is Zoom.Earth, and you can see all the fires going on up in Canada. Hundreds. I heard a news report there's hundreds of fires. I don't know. I don't know if there's any validity to that, but it was from a respected news channel, so I assume it was true. But the current satellite, Hunter, don't you do it. He's over there sniffing. This is actual GOES satellite imagery, and that's smoke. That is amazing. We've had people chiming in from Kentucky that said it's terrible in Kentucky, western Pennsylvania right now. It's just incredible. Now, we originally had a low pressure area that was spinning, and now we just have a basic dip in the jet. And you can kind of see it with the clouds. It's, just blowing this stuff down. Yesterday, we had more of a low pressure area that was actually spinning them in. So a lot of this originated from these fires up here originally kind of came in like this, and it's just lingering. So, man, it happened a few weeks ago. It's happening again. If you're wondering where it's all from, it is from Canada. Some of this smoke is going to make its way down into already into Kentucky. We got some air alerts even in Atlanta, Carolinas. If you go to the National Weather Service page here, you can see the alerts for your area. But we have air alerts here for middle Georgia, parts of Carolinas are air quality alerts. So it's like deja vu again, BOGO. If you haven't figured it out, we say BOGO all the time. Cheers to Publix, man. 35 years my wife's been at Publix. Brian, I don't think the smoke's going to make it this far south, buddy. Asked if the smoke's going to make it to Florida. Ryan Anderson, good morning. It's going to be hot today in Tampa. Good morning, Keisha. How you doing? Good morning, Mr. Tom. Oh, yeah, Jessica says 10 in Pensacola alone. Harold, all right. Yeah, Pub Subs, great. She's been there a long time. Ooh, I encourage all young kids to give Publix a chance because it's a great company. And stick it out if you like it, because one day you might say, I wish I did. So it's hot, very hot. Especially interested where we live, because obviously I live here. But they're talking heat indexes, 110. I think that's all Dennis Phillips posted. 110 plus heat index, even for us. Up to 109 expected for West Central Florida. That's incredible. And that's everybody. That's just not us. That's right here. Look at this whole area. And it's going to be worse even tomorrow for some folks. Hundreds all the way up past Tennessee here. So that's all your heat advisories today. Yeah, it's a real deal. I was reading my buddies here. So one of our Oh, is there 2 things on here? Oh, yeah, we already got that on there. Let me get the fresh update. Little trick with updating websites, F5. You must F5. So, like, if you think you don't have the latest and you keep hitting refresh, you hit F5. You've heard jokes about F5s, and you hit F5s, and guess what? You get the freshest data sometimes. Like, sometimes these maps update, and you don't realize it, like, especially the Storm Prediction Center Outlook. So, if you go to bed one night and you have Mike's Weather Page on your screen, sometimes these images get stuck in your cache. So it's a good thing to F5, and you get the freshest Storm Prediction Center maps on the planet. That's for sure. But with all this heat, one thing, man, it's just incredible, man. Power bills and stuff. But I wanted to share something here. So one of our great local supporters, Done Right Roofing here, we love them to death. You see their orange and blue trucks? I saw 2 yesterday. But if you go to their blog section, they have so many, and there's a great summer article here on it, and they got 9 pages of blogs here, and I should have had it up here, but there was a great one on summertime. I'm going to share it again because it was just good talking about, how weather conditions cause roof damage, and I mean, roofs are big. You get that blazing. I mean, I told you the story. That's the one I wanted to share. I shared a hurricane one yesterday, some really good information on how to prepare your roof for a hurricane. About gutters. I mean, this is all, roofs are like the number one headache when it comes to storms. But, so when we were in Gainesville, as I told the story yesterday, my tonneau cover is black, the roll-up type. I put my hand on it. I literally got a burn still on my arm. It was so hot. Like, I don't know how. I mean, it was just hotter than I remember Florida being. Maybe it's because it was more middle state. I'm not used to that type of heat, but God, it was hot. So here's the latest hazards map, and you can see it. They're talking about hazardous heat all the way to July 4th for the south and the east here. So this is include today. This map doesn't include tomorrow. It starts out on the 30th, so it's day 3 to day 7. So they ain't going nowhere, folks. Big high-pressure system locked up over the southern U.S. here. High-pressure systems block any incoming fronts and just create heat. Heat dome, they call it. And it's going to be hot all the way to the 4th. It ain't going nowhere. Florida Peninsula, a little bit of, south and east side gets a little help from the Atlantic. The Atlantic winds helping keep things a little cooler. You get them strong winds blowing and keep things a little cooler. But, man, heat is the story of the week. So we'll get into that a little bit more here in a little bit. So this map here I started to share, and then we'll get into tropics. This is a good map. It's linked to my site. It's really hard to find. Shelly loves it because I add a link all the time. This one's really hard to find. All the way in the bottom right, smoke and fire map right there. Harold used to like my fire map, so there's 2 fire maps right there. But if you want to see that site, this one actually goes to particular areas, and this is another site you need to refresh because it always updates. But every area that's purple is considered very unhealthy air. And I got a lot of friends that live in Wisconsin. My wife's from Minnesota. Her family's all from Wisconsin, Minnesota, Fargo. So, this air quality, man, is terrible. And you can see these trends and these numbers right here. The higher that number is, you don't want. And it's all the way to Cleveland. My mom and dad grew up in Warren, Pennsylvania, close to Erie. Here's Warren. This is where my mom and dad met. So even this area is terrible. So just amazing. I got a lot of family down in West Virginia. And like I said, it's all the way to Georgia. Georgia's got air quality alerts up. All right. So there's that. We'll get into that a little bit. Let's talk about the tropics here. There's really not a lot to talk about the tropics, but this is a new little circle. Old Cindy is out there somewhere mingling with it. You can kind of see it with some satellites here. I'll leave this up while I sip coffee, but generally this is Florida right here. You can see Florida right there. So there's Florida right there, and there's Cuba. So that's, if you're kind of trying to figure out the map, there's Puerto Rico. So you can look at that while I sip coffee. And I pulled my damn neck off. By the way, I had an interview with up in Chattanooga or Knoxville today, and the house phone line wasn't working, and I found out my modem, the stupid plug unplugged. I used my cell phone, but I was down there and I pulled something in my dang back, and I refused to take ibuprofen. I gotta let my liver be happy. Dan says the smoke's pretty bad in Minnesota. Yeah, we love that area. We had we do a family reunion there a couple times up in Hinckley. What's up, Emily from Trinidad? You got some tropical waves coming your way. Actually, there you are right here. This is just for you. I'm trying to do more Caribbean shots. There are a lot of people watching in the Caribbean. Nothing organized. That little blob of rain just hanging out. There's another little wave coming. There's another wave coming. There's another wave coming. Long range, this is the wave that looked like it was going to be here around the 3rd. It's still the models, some models, not much development, but these waves are going to keep on coming. I'll look at the dust here in a second, but this wave is questionable if it's going to do anything or not as far as organizing. But the timing would be around the 3rd. They would be reaching the islands. We'll keep an eye on this one right here. This one's the one showing up on some of the models. And then, of course, Emily and the leftover frontal area. This is kind of where they're watching, Old Emily and the frontal line. So this will be, the spot that the NHC thinks it might maybe. I don't know if that was it. Hold on a minute. Yeah, it is. All right. So that's kind of the area that they're watching, this little area. So a lot of wind shear where Cindy was at. This little guy might try to go north right here. So, we got people in Bermuda watching. Here's infrared satellite imagery, basically showing you a lot of wind shear, the frontal line up here, little juice here. Tropical wave passing through the Lesser Antilles now. Another little wave, another little wave, another little wave. Let's see what they look like on the surface maps, surface charts. Let's see if they're actually designated waves. Well, one is, it just passed. And this is this one. This is the one coming off that we're going to watch ahead. So the tropics are quiet. Bottom line, they're not really quiet. Oh, last thing too, I wanted to show this before we talk. All right, so here's the smoke map. A lot of people asking about this weekend's NASCAR race. So this is the brighter the colors, the more smoke concentration, and you can see the low and the jet stream that's been fueling this kind of get gone. I don't know if that's officially a word, get gone or not, but as you can see, tomorrow. Here's tomorrow, Thursday. The colors are, showing you the concentration is going to be a lot less Thursday, which ultimately means Friday is going to be a lot better. Now, there is another low coming in, which you can see that on Zoom Earth. I saw this up here. We'll have to keep an eye on this low here on Friday. If it decides to come down, it might bring some more smoke. But, as of now, it looks like today is the worst day. A little bit of lingering tomorrow, and then by Friday, it looks a lot better. In fact, we can see another map here with some smoke concentration. Let's take a look here at let's look at Cam's dust, and we'll look at this here. And so here's that low I'm looking at. This is on Friday. No. Oh, there's a little bit coming back down, but that's July 2nd. So anyway, the good news is most of this is going to be out of here. There could be some lingering Friday, maybe for the Northeast, actually. I don't think the Northeast is getting anything right now, are they? So we could see some sneaking into the Northeast, upstate New York, maybe. This is on Friday. But the weekend looks good. Here's July 1st. So looks fine. Hunter, what are you chewing on down there? Hey, what do you got down there? What is that? What are you eating? Hey, what are you eating? Hey. Oh, he's eating. Patty's gardening. Well, everybody says hey to Patty. She's gardening. I used to be really into mowing yards and stuff, but I don't know, man. I lost my love of that a long time ago. All right, so here's the tropics in a nutshell. Smoke's gonna be gone. Looks great for the NASCAR race up there. And they're racing in the streets, right? Oh, I wanted to share this real quick, and then we'll talk tropics. I forgot this yesterday. So I had a nice letter mailed to me. I always like to share this before I put them in my stash of memoirs. So this was a typed note, but it was from a lady. Her name is Bonnie. Bonnie C. You know who she is. She said she wanted to. Weeks ago, I posted I wanted to see where everybody followed me from, and she said she found me in a newspaper article from a fellow that is a captain. So do any of y'all follow Captain Jerry? So she sent me some nice articles, I guess. I didn't even read them yet because I just opened it, where he mentions our page. So that's pretty interesting. Thank you, Miss Bonnie, for mailing that and letting me know that you are a follower and that you found out about us in a local newspaper, which is really cool. And this paper is from North Carolina, I believe. It's from Southport, the State Port Pilot from Southport, North Carolina. So that is really cool, man. I'm going to stash that with my little history. I got an area up here. I put them away. One day I'll have a little studio, I hope, and we'll be displaying this stuff from the years of memoirs. That'd be kind of cool. So there you go. All right, Tropics. So we really don't have anything to talk about, honestly. Let's look at some long-range models. We'll go tropical tidbits. Tropical tidbits, June and July normally are pretty slow, so this is normal. We just had an early active start, but a lot of dust in the wind. We'll talk about the dust here in a little bit. So here's the latest Euro, tropicaltidbits.com, and we'll just kind of put things in motion. You can see generally by the weekend, there's two little spots. This is old Bonnie. Or Bonnie. What the hell did I come up with Bonnie from? That's because Bonnie was... I didn't mean to call you old Bonnie. Old Cindy. Bonnie's saved away. Old Cindy. And then here's that new little spot east of Bermuda. So, whatever. I mean, weekend, a little something, something. There's a new something, something. I mean, I don't know. Nothing's really showing up. But it's, weak low pressure areas. The other area we were watching July 3rd, here it shows up on the Euro. Still showing up as a pretty, juicy wave. There you go. So we got people down there living, obviously, fans down in the Caribbean. You're going to get that big wave off Africa Monday. It looks like Sunday, Monday, it's going to be approaching you. And you can just follow it along through the Caribbean. So I know we got people watching Jamaica and Caymans. So that, that wave, but it's just not showing up as far as being organized. So we'll keep an eye on it. But as of now, it's just a blob. Just a blob. You can see it coming through there. So now the Canadian model, let's show you a little bit bigger back out here to Western Atlantic again. So this is your vorticity map. And you can kind of see the weekend here. It's hard to tell which system's what. This is Saturday, Sunday, this weekend. There's that, Nova Scotia, maybe some spinach coming your way. Here's that other spot. I don't know which one's Cindy or the new spot that they're talking about. It doesn't really matter. But there are two areas possibly could be spinning up here. Whether or not they get even looked at, who knows. But this is Sunday, this weekend. Here's that next wave right here approaching the islands. And there you go. So that's kind of everything we've been talking about, Let's see Euro. Now, the GFS, I'm not going to even bother wasting time right now. But the Canadian model is showing a healthy little spot that could be the same exact area. It is the same area. Canadian hasn't really shown much lately. But just to point out the consistency here, this is that new area that is circled. It's not really showing much for Nova Scotia, but here's that little low heading towards the Caribbean next Monday. So, whether or not it's interesting. I mean, there you go. There's that. We're going to look at the ensembles here in a second from the Euro. I haven't looked at them yet, but this is that same wave we've been talking about for a long time now. So it still looks like it's approaching the islands around the 3rd. And we'll see. We'll see what the old icon shows. We love the icon. So here's the icon on Saturday. Still showing a little low pressure area nearing Nova Scotia over the weekend. starts to pick up that new little wave, and that keeps it east of Bermuda. So, we could still see some rain and stuff for Bermuda Thursday, it looks like, from leftover Cindy. Here it is, little weak low, and then by the 3rd, there's a blobby low pressure area Monday the 3rd. So that's tropics in a nutshell, all right? Nothing solid. We like to look at areas that are consistently shown on models and maps, and that definitely is consistent. Euro 10-day map, 3 out of 51 ensembles showing development, so few up here. So again, the Caribbean system's got low chances right now. We're going to look at dust here in a second, but tropical cyclone probability map kind of gives you the idea. There's that wave coming off of Africa. By the 3rd, 4th, there it is. There's that other little spot. Not even showing up under tropical storm. So it's very, very, very low chances. So, but if we were to watch for the next potential system, it would be that wave coming off the Caribbean. Now the trade winds down there are really fast right now. These waves are flying. They think they're racing NASCAR, but when these waves are going so fast, sometimes it's really hard for them to slow down and organize. And that's normal this time of year. These intertropics convergence zone here is where Brett got going and Cindy. But these winds are what's responsible for the Saharan dust layer, which I'm going to show now. And, very common early season to see a lot of wind, a lot of dust. I just saw hearts fly. How did that happen? Is that a YouTube thing? Screen is not blurry, Melissa. It's probably like a internet connection thing. What's up, Miss Bobby? Blobby? Bobby Blobby. Oh, Shelly gave the invest definition. That's great. Mike McBride, what's up? The islands did actually, if I remember right, Brett did cause some pretty rough conditions as it crossed the islands. Tropical storm. I did see some videos out in the Caribbean. I mean, nothing like major, but there was some rough weather and wind and surge. I did see some surge from one of the islands down there when Brett came up. So yeah, Pacific I'm not too concerned about, but I do have a link here for Pacific. That's just me being selfish, but I do have a link here, East Pacific, and you can see that they're talking about a hurricane. Adrian might be coming a hurricane, but it's out in the open. But it is expected to be a hurricane. As a matter of fact, the latest ASCAT scan showed it very well. Let me see if I can find it. I can't remember if it was A, B, or C. Here it might be right here. Oof, look at that one. Look at that pass. You can see it. I saw one overnight. It was really clear on the satellite scan that showed rotation very well. There's another one showing you tight rotation. So more than likely, it's going to be a hurricane out there in the Pacific. And they got started late. That was their first storm. Storm A. Adrian, we are already up to D. We're winning. Actually, we had 4 storms. We had a storm in January that they didn't name Arlene. They kept it AL1. So we're technically, our next system is going to be AL5, but it'll be given the name Dawn, is it? I think Dawn. I can't remember now. Shop MWP Gear. You can go up here, get a shirt, support the page. Appreciate it. This is our new design, and it will be Dawn. This is the backside. Everybody wanted a 2-sided design. There are a couple bucks more, but everybody wanted a 2-sided. So we got a 2-sided design this year. But there's your names: Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Dawn. Emily will be the 5th storm. Name: Emily. We'll see what Idalia is. Idalia onions. What kind of onions are they? Idalia. Now I'm all messed up. Vidalia? Valdalia onions? How do you say it? Oh God, I can't remember now. Hey, let's see what the I. How do you pronounce the I name? This This even makes it harder, man. It's not Idalia. It's E. Doll. E. Doll. Is that all? D. E. E. Doll. Y'all. That's a redneck name. E. Doll. Y'all. Right there, though. E. Doll. Y'all. E. Doll. Y'all. So I swear it says it right here. E. Doll. Y'all. Oh man, where's my buddy Drew Garabo? We're gonna have to make a song. They did the one with Issa Ia, right? Issa Ia, him and John Sinning. We'll have to do an E-Doll Y'all. Hey, y'all see that E-Doll Y'all storm? I knew we were gonna go redneck names eventually. We have Bubba and we have Cooter. So now we got E-Doll Y'all. I can't stop laughing. Eat all y'all. Anyway, oh my goodness. All right. Hey, we had some storms this morning, by the way. This was interesting. And look at it, it's still kind of stormy. Look at this. This line kind of snuck in. I woke up this morning and I see this line, and it's still producing. We had a severe thunderstorm warning just outside of Interstate 10 earlier this morning. So yeah, look at that. Let's zoom in on it. Let's pull up. Nah, it's not over there. I need to have it open. I don't want to crash my system. So we got storms right now, currently. Pretty heavy storms around the Big Bend area. Got some storms coming in, and that's basically just the flow. Now, all right, let's talk about, all right, so we got the hurricane stuff out of the way. We know there's really nothing going on. This heat's incredible. We got that Storm Prediction Center. This is where you go to right now. You can see it's very light green, southeast. Storms are staying to the north. That's, kind of odd to see, I guess. Let's look at here, the daily detailed maps. But here is, your storm maps for today. Here's tomorrow. And, big area tomorrow, Thursday, up north. And day 3. Nothing popping up too bad. So there's that. Let's see what the old jet stream looks like. Why is that, by the way? I haven't even been paying attention. Look at that smoke pictures coming in, though. So, again, you go to my Twitter feed here. It's a cool. I think that was his new name. No, maybe that was his old name. No, that was his old name. It's Content Weather Guy. I love this guy. He posts amazing analysis on weather. So I included him on our Twitter list. I love my Twitter list. So there's Bobby. I have Bobby on our Twitter list. But anyway, we were going to look at something else. The pattern here, high pressure. Let's see. So here's that dome of high pressure locked in. You can see it today, high. But then tomorrow, it's a big dip in the frontal line. That's what I figured. There's your, occasional storm chances. I lost my pointer. Oh well. I don't have any points to give. So you get the occasional storms following this frontal line, but there's your big high pressure dome. You can really see it, like if you look at things like this here. Let's take a look at the high pressure dome here, 500 millibar. You can see it. Where is it? Right here. So here it is. This is your high pressure 500 millibar map, and it pretty much just shows you through tomorrow. This is high pressure. That's a dome. It's like a dome. And there you go. High pressure. High pressures make heat. There's really no end in sight. We have, heat warnings all the way up through the 4th of July for the south and the east. So that's kind of just staying around. That frontal line digging some storms up north, but let's look at the heat temps. Since we got it up, let's take a look at the U.S. Just kind of look at we'll just look at high temp. We're not going to look at, well, this is so hard to see, but this is good. All right, then we'll zoom in the southeast, but white basically is around 100 degrees. That's all you need to know. White's upper 90s, 100 degrees. This pink area is like 110. So here's today, here's tomorrow. We got 100. We have triple digits all the way up to Arkansas, Missouri. This is Thursday. Here's Friday, Saturday. Little moisture comes into play. Look how hot it is in the Carolinas or California. Here's Sunday. A little break Sunday, not bad. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it does disappear. There is a break coming. That intense heat's only going to last for a few days for the big chunk of the U.S. And you can see a slow down, cool down. July 4th, though, they're still showing. Let's zoom in specifically to the southeast now, because they're still showing through July 4th for the heat. So here's July 3rd. Look at this. Look. Let's see if we can do. So Sunday might be. Oh man, this is Sunday. All right, let's take a look at this. Sunday. This is July 2nd. Look at this. So that heat gets pushed out. The dome slides east. But look at these high temps. This isn't heat index values. This is high temps expected on Sunday. But look, we got 101 near Jacksonville, 99. Tampa's never had a 100-degree day ever. One day it's coming. It's got to. Georgia 100, and it's protected by the water. When that water gets hot, but the Gulf of Mexico helps keep things kind of cooler on the coast. But that's Sunday. Sunday. Look at Carolinas. Oh, my goodness. 90s. Charlotte might get close to 100 degrees in Charlotte on Sunday. South Carolina, Columbia area, 101. Whew, man, Middle Georgia, 101. That's Sunday. So, Global Tropics Hazards Map, not showing much. The only thing it is showing, phone's ringing. Moisture. Long range moisture. Who the heck, July 12th, I'm not even going to look that far, but starting to see that's July 12th through 18th. There's a big old chunk of moisture there. Man, that's a long way away. That's like, but it's got a voicemail. Oh boy, what the heck is that all about? Who knows? Let's put it up here and see. That's about it weather-wise. I really don't know what else I can talk about. Air quality alerts we talked about. We talked about rains, 48-hour rains. Let's look at that real quick. Not really anything to talk about. There are going to be some afternoon thunderstorms here across the southern Florida today. Let's take a look here. This is radar today. So some of these storms could pop into the west part of Florida around noontime. So hey, if you're on, there could be a little bit of storms here across the Florida west coast. We see that energy pushing down. And then later today, you just get that normal pop here. This is this afternoon. So still expecting some afternoon thunderstorms across lower half Florida's I-4 South, more East Coast side today. And then tomorrow, there's a big line of storms rolling in there. Look at this tomorrow. Obviously, because if you go to Mike's weather page and you look at tomorrow, there's tomorrow, yellow. Go to radar. You can see it. If I can find it. Let me start closing windows here. This is the time of the hour here where I start losing Chrome. All right, so tomorrow you can see the storms developing tomorrow. That's a pretty healthy line. This is Indiana, Fort Wayne, southward. So that's tomorrow. Big old clump of storms up that neck of the woods. And it's going to kind of bend down a little bit with that frontal line down into Kentucky tomorrow. This is noontime Thursday. So this could actually start in the morning, Thursday morning. So we'll have to watch out in the morning. And then it dries up. Tomorrow, storms down in the south. Very few. Just random pop-ups. And then here's another line, riding that ridge. Got that big old ridge of high pressure system. I can't point no more, but there's an H here, and it all rides around the dome. That's why we're getting storms up here in the upper parts of the Great Lakes area. That's it, man. Weather in a nutshell. I love it. Pretty cool, right? Everything else looks good. We're going to look at the dust map. I told you we would, and I just remembered. So let's pull up the dust. We'll see if we're going to get any dust into the Gulf of Mexico. I know we got a lot of people in the Caribbean are watching, and they are going to get some more of this dust. So here's what it looks like now, and it's going to make its way in. There's still a big plume coming in tomorrow. So that area there is on approach. This is African dust, thanks to those strong winds rolling in. There you go. That's tomorrow. It's going to make its way through the Caribbean through Friday into the weekend. Look at that. And this little clump here, we're going to watch and see if it gets close to South Florida, the Keys, the Gulf of Mexico. It'll be interesting. Right here. This is July 3rd, July 4th. So we'll keep an eye on that dust and see if any of it makes its way into the Gulf for the first part of the week next week. And there's another big plume expected to come off. But, you know, when our systems, here's July 3rd, you can kind of see this moisture bubble. This is where our wave is going to be July 3rd. And this is very normal this time of year. This Saharan dust, it starts to reduce significantly towards middle into July into August. So that's normal for sure. All right, everybody. Fireworks, Lydia. Which day is better on the East Coast? I think so far, I think both days are fine. Since we don't really have any organized weather patterns, you know, Sunday, you know, Tuesday. I'd say Sunday's better than Tuesday. The moisture returns, so there'll be a little more random storms on July 4th. So Sunday, if you had to pick the 2 days, it would be Sunday. And that just makes sense. High pressure leaves, and we start getting back to a normal pattern again. But that's a long way away. Things can change. But if I had to call, let's see old Lori Rye here. Let's look at Bermuda real quick. So basically right now, old Cindy is to your south. Tomorrow might bring some rain and storms tomorrow. That hasn't changed, right? Here you go. That's just leftover funnel line, a little bit of Cindy mixed in. Just a big party. I was going to say something else, but I did. And then that line lingers a little bit. Now here's old. You could argue that's old Cindy pulling north on the weekend. You know, so we got people in Nova Scotia watching it. You know, there is going to be a weak low head your way over the weekend. That has not changed in a week. Here's that new area that's going to be east of Bermuda, and you can see it trying to maybe get going. And then here's the third, that moisture coming in to the Caribbean that we might be watching. We'll see. And it does bring some rain and stuff towards the 4th and the 5th here next week. So that wave looks a little more juicier than... It's a juicier wave than the other waves. Hey Jim, thanks buddy. Happy 4th to you too. Hey, if you guys are local, make sure you swing by and get your taste of freedom from TBC. Tastes like a icicle. We're going to Daytona this weekend. Emily's got a college little camp, so we're heading over. There'll be no Daily Brew Friday. There's really nothing to talk about, but I already told the girls we'd leave early, so we're going to head over there, and it's a college tournament so that she gets to go to. So no live Friday. We'll be here tomorrow, for sure. And we'll chit-chat on the old weather, see if there's anything new to talk about. But as of now, enjoy it. Enjoy the break. Prep. I'm the worst planner. I don't plan on things. I'm not the one to talk to on any hurricane prep, that's for sure. 7-day anomaly map. Things are warming back up in the Gulf as expected. This is the number one water map to look at. These are your ocean heat content maps, and it's very, interesting. You'll track the depth of heat in the ocean heat content. So we'll watch this graphic increase as the season goes on. This is your actual depth map, not the other one. This one's measuring how deep the water is. And that little spot up in the Gulf, that's a loop current that comes in, part of the Gulf Stream. There's a loop eddy that broke off here that's keeping the Western Gulf warmer. Those are areas you watch in the peak season months when we get systems out there. You kind of see it right here. Your loop current, very long, stretching almost all the way to Louisiana now. Eventually, it should break off. Ida, the year of Ida, it never really broke off. Ida rode up along this loop current. You know, anytime you get a system that's counterclockwise, it fuels, off of this warm current and pulls in extra moisture and heat. So you don't want a system to start right here, because that's just lots of energy enabling rapid intensification. And we got a pretty healthy loop eddy over here. This is kind of what Harvey fed into. Remember, it was relentless and never stopped for all that rain, and it was a loop current, loop eddy scenario like this one that brought in a lot of extra warm water. So these are things we watch. This is partly responsible for that rain that we had at Fort Lauderdale. We had that system that just parked over east coast of Florida, and it was just fueling off of this warm, extra warm water. And there it goes, the old Gulf Stream. We even have little loop eddies out there in the Atlantic. More than I've ever remembered. I don't remember these little guys. Bobby, do you remember seeing loop eddies out here in the Atlantic? Is that kind of normal? I have to text my buddy Shay Gibson. I don't recall seeing those defined loop eddies in the Atlantic like we're seeing right now. And it could be aiding in the temperatures. That's we'll see. Check the anomaly map here and look. Yeah, look, you can even see them here. It's kind of helping warm things up out in the Atlantic. All right. Well, we'll end it with hellos. That's about it that I wanted to share. Morning, Eric. I don't prep for the cruise. I don't even bring my laptop on the cruise. Funny story, right, Shelly? Hey, extreme weather events. Correct. I've been following that too. I made sure to let everybody know that in my last YouTube video. But the water is here's a 7-day water map that you can see on Levi's site. But the 7-day map here has significantly cooled across the main development region. So yeah, that was my big wonder, is if those anomalies that we saw early season, if they would come back down to normal. And it appears that the water temperatures are coming back down to normal a little bit across the Atlantic. So it's interesting to watch these trends, 7-day anomaly maps. Like I said, the Gulf's warmer, obviously. It's only going to get warmer this next week here across the Gulf. Now that we have winds calming down and really nothing. Remember, a few weeks ago we had a strong, I can't point my pointer. We had a strong northeast wind blowing. It really cooled these shelf waters off. It really cooled the upper Gulf off. But now things are quiet. You can see this weak high pressure flow here, and that'll really warm up the Gulf fast. So for fun, let's take a look at today. Compare it. We'll use the Bay News 9 spectrum Gulf map here. So let's compare this next week. 85, 84, 84, 85. Let's see if any of these numbers jump significantly, like 2 or 3 degrees from our dome. The dome. What was that ice storm again? Oh my God, I can't wait. I hope it's not a bad one. It's Edal y'all. Edal y'all. Eat all y'all. All right, Eric, have a great day, man. Root them Rays on. What's up, Mr. Richard Sanford? How's it going? What did I lose temporarily on this year's cruise? Oh, my flip-flops. Did I lose my shoes? Oh, I had a flip-flop. I can write a book on flip-flop stories. Oh, my God. From the tornado to stepping in ants during Fred to losing it at Safety Harbor during our Ada surge to losing them on the cruise ship. I've got about 5 or 6 good flip-flop stories. All right, we're going to wind her down. Let's try to make it an hour, 4 more minutes. And we'll see what's cooking. Oh, Katie, yeah, I read about the Jimmy Johnson. I haven't really read everything, but I saw it trending on my Twitter. And that sounds devastating. So, yeah, if you're a NASCAR fan, you want to check that out. Also, Carl Edwards is in the news a lot. I wonder, and it looks like Chase Elliott's dating the TikTok star Olivia Dunn. That's interesting. Jason, what's up, buddy? At Pensacola, it is hot. I know, man. Unbelievable. Extreme heat. Just crazy. So, my little project here, umbrella, and okay, we don't make fun of names, Bobby. I will never do that. I think it's Edalia, but I'm gonna call Edal y'all. If I go on national news during Edal y'all and I say, here, wearing my redneck storm chaser shirt because I saved that shirt and the shorts. I have them folded. Well, Julie folded them for me. I had to tell you something. I hate folding clothes. I'm the worst folding clothes. I just can't fold clothes. I don't know. It's something I never learned. I'd be guilty. I'm 49. So Julie's got them all nice flattened out for me. I have them actually on the cable box in the bedroom. They're warm and toasty. I'm thinking if I go into storm chase mode, I'm grabbing my shorts and my redneck storm chaser shirt because I went through Nicole. I wore that during Nicole and I wore it through Ian. So that is my comfort blanket this year is my redneck storm chaser shirt and the camo shorts that I had on because it was a very memorable. I don't even know the word to say. Memorable experience. But if I say Edal y'all on the news, I'll you all can laugh. You can say, "Yeah, we heard it first." I sold a lot of these shirts, actually, by the way. I've met fans during storms that wear these. So if you're a storm chaser and you like to go out in a storm, there's a story behind this. But look, it's even got America on it. I should put that out there before the 4th of July. I'm like, perfect America shirt, right? Redneck storm chaser. And I even got a drawing of Louie in the passenger seat. That's my truck. I got the light bar on it. It's a Chevy. License tag says hype. I just got to get the hat to go with it. But I got the flip-flops on. You can see that. My buddy Dusty did a heck of a job designing the shirt. There's a story behind that shirt. Every shirt has a story. Every shirt has a story. As a matter of fact, some of these shirts, these are Shelly's favorite designs. The Brews, the coffee dogs. So we made one with Hunter, we made one with Louie. Coffee dogs and Mike is what I like. I know, I hate having my name on a shirt, but it is what it is. That's what I like. So there's Hunter. And then this one's for Louie. Brews, dogs, and weather, things that go together. It's so awesome. So there's your night shirt. You can wear Louie with the Brew, right? Brews, dogs, and weather, things that go together. And then their morning shirt is this one. Coffee, dogs, and Mike. That's what I like. And that's what we got little Hunter. And it looks just like Hunter. That's awesome. Another story short. This was a good story to tell because this was our first storm chase. We had no idea what we were doing, me and Phil. I think it was Hurricane Delta. We rented a Jeep. We didn't realize there was no other headlights on the Jeep but factory headlights, so we could barely see. We had the infamous power line incident where we were underneath power lines and everybody on the live stream was telling us, get away from the power lines. And 2 minutes later, the power lines exploded and hit the ground and caught fire right where we were. So that's a memory. That one for sure. And the reason we got the water splashing is we were in surge along Biloxi, westward, Gulf Shores, and we were in the news. CNN, I think, showed our truck. So that was kind of memorable. The blob shirt's very memorable to me because we started tracking blobs in March and April a few years back. That was an actual satellite image, so we called them blobs. So those are our little, I need to get little toys made up. But those are blobs, and we watch blobs. If you followed our page a lot, early season we watch blobs and spinach. This is an old shirt. We didn't just come out with that one. There's more. We'll get into other. We'll save that for another day when I have nothing else to talk about. Oh, the memories. Oh my goodness. All right. So we'll talk weather tomorrow. So everything in a nutshell today. If you're just tuning in, tropics are pretty much quiet. There's a bunch of juicy mess around Bermuda. They're probably going to get a little bit something tomorrow from leftover Cindy. Frontal line's going to mix in with it and might bring some action north towards maybe Nova Scotia. I don't know if it's Cindy or not, but that would be this weekend. Very weak. Nothing really showing up as organized. The waters up there are really cold right now. So, yeah, it's just going to be an ugly little system. Not that saying Cindy's ugly, but you know what I'm saying. And then if we were to watch for what's next, there's a wave coming off Africa now that by the July 3rd time frame, it could be nearing the Lesser Antilles. So no matter what, we have people on the islands. There's a good, healthy wave coming your way early part of next week, making it way through the Caribbean next week to watch. We got this high-pressure dome lasting the next several days. It'll start getting a little better through the weekend towards the 4th. So the worst is probably today and tomorrow. The smoke's going to disappear for the weekend up north. So today's the worst day for smoke. It clears out tomorrow, and definitely by Friday it should be a lot better. And storms riding this ridge. If you live up there in the Great Lakes southward region here, storms the next couple days. Here's Thursday, Friday, and that's just because the dome can't be penetrated. It's an impenetrable dome. All right, well, it's fun. I drank too much coffee this morning, I reckon. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow. I might do a little YouTube video later on the dome of high pressure and the heat. Talk about that a little bit because it is fascinating to me. Don't forget our good buddy Frank over here. He helped sponsor our hurricane preparedness machine. Talked to Jason Furman yesterday. They're sounding like they're in again for Daytona. So we might have a Daytona car come next year again. But Frank was on it. Great guy here locally in Florida, but he works all of the U.S. So if you ever need help dealing with insurance companies, he's a great adjuster. And even my neighbor Pete and Kathy across the street called and got him a lot of money. So great guy. Just finishing up with that. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow for the Daily Brew. Thanks, Shelly, for helping